Hello everybody, this is Jasmine from OTX West, and today I'm going to show you how to send an email with your Gmail account. So the first thing you need to do is open up your internet browser, and in the address bar, left click and type in www.gmail.com. Okay, and once this page is loaded up, if you're not already logged in, you need to put in your username and password. And we'll hit enter, or you can left click on the sign in button and it logs you in. Okay, so now we're at our inbox. Okay, this is where all the email that anybody has sent us, including Google updates or information about other Google applications, go to here, our inbox. In order to send an email, a brand new email that's not a reply, we left click on Compose Mail, and this message box will pop up. You'll see there are three parts to sending a basic email: to, subject, and your message. Now, to is pretty straightforward. That's who you're going to send your email to. This is where you type in the person's email address. Now, the thing you'll notice is the more you start using Google, the easier it gets because it remembers who you sent your emails to. So, like for instance, if I wanted to send an email to my OTX account, since we've already went back and forth, it already pops up, and all I need to do is hit enter and it automatically types it in for me. If you don't have the email address in your contacts already, you can just type it in. Remember to putting the name at Gmail or Yahoo.com. If you're sending an email to more than one person, you need to have comma space in between each email. Also, if you're writing in the emails yourself, it's not important to have the little carets on the side. That's just a formatting thing that they put in for Google. So like for instance, if I just typed in another email address that's not in my contacts, it doesn't need to have the carets. But today we're just going to send the email straight to ourselves. Below that, you'll see two links. One says Add CC and the other one says Add BCC. Now, Add CC stands for carbon copy. And if we left click on that, what you'll see is that a box almost identical to the to box will pop up. And in fact, it is identical. But carbon copy, what it is if you're sending an email to a bunch of people, like 20, 30 people. Like for instance, you have a mailing list or a group, your club, or you're throwing a party for a bunch of people or something like that, you want to put it in the CC, because when somebody replies, it won't have it automatically go to reply all. So if you're throwing a party and somebody wants to write you a message back saying, no, I can't because I have a rash or something like that, they don't have to worry about replying to everybody. They'll just be replying directly to you. So that's the best way when you're sending an email to a whole bunch of people. Add BCC stands for blind carbon copy. And any email addresses that you type into here, the same way you would type it in the to, when the email's sent, you won't see it. It'll be blind carbon copy. This is mostly used in work settings. When people email their coworkers, they usually blind carbon copy their supervisor or their boss. So, because supervisors like to keep track of everything that's going on. Sometimes when people send in applications or anything, they'll blind carbon copy somebody and be like, do you think this application sounded good? Yeah, it sounded great. So that's what blind carbon copy is used for. And then we have your subject. Now your subject is pretty straightforward. What is this email about? This email is just about hello from OTX. And then we'll go to our message box. Okay, so this is where you write your message. So we'll keep it pretty straightforward today. Alright. Now, a couple of things just for very simple. Most of these formatting things I don't suggest that you use, because a lot of times when people are checking their emails and other places, the formatting won't show up. But we'll go into that later. The one useful thing is check spelling. So I'll mistype in something just to show. And then I'll go to check spelling. And what it does is any misspellings that you see, it'll highlight in yellow. Now, of course, your name or something like that might highlight as yellow. You don't have to change that. But let's say FRGO. Maybe that was supposed to be frog. So I left click on that. And it's like, was it supposed to be any of these things? Yes, it was supposed to be frog. So when I'm through, I can either recheck or I just left click on done. And that's the in Gmail spell check. So we're almost ready to send off this email. There's just 2 more things I need to show you. You'll probably notice if you have a high-speed internet connection, such as DSL or cable, that it auto-saves your email every couple of minutes. This can be very useful because sometimes if your computer shuts off, or you writing a long email and you have to go somewhere, or if there's a power outage or something like that, your email is still safe. It saves it every couple of minutes. You can always choose your save point if it's not auto-saving by left-clicking on the Save Now button, and it'll save a draft. And so when you go back, you can find that email that you haven't finished writing in your drafts folder. What discard means is that it deletes it. Not delete, put in trash. I mean delete it forever. You'll never find it again. So sometimes you start writing an email and then you realize that I didn't need to write that email. Like you wrote Sally to say, hey, do you know about that shindig on Friday? And then you see Sally later on that day. There's no need to send an email, so you can just hit discard, right? And then of course the send button, and that is how we send the email. So let's left click on the send button, and a little yellow box will pop up when we go back to our Gmail account. It says your message has been sent, view message. Now I can left click here and view my message, or I can go over to the left click on sent mail, and this is all the email that I've sent, right? So I just left click on this button, and this is a copy of the email that I've sent to everybody. And this is how you send an email in Gmail. So why don't you try sending us an email with your account at otxwestclasses@gmail.com. Just send us a simple message and tell us how you're liking the classes so far. That's otxwestclasses@gmail.com, and we'll see you next time.